What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. If you guys are new here, welcome. My name is Braden Timmons, and the day is finally here, guys. On this channel, we are talking Halloween Kills. This is a movie review, but it's also a spoiler review. So if you haven't had a chance to see the movie yet, highly encourage you to refrain from watching this. We're going to go pretty heavy into the details of this movie. I'm joined here with two of my good friends, Destiny Faulkner and Chad Sumner. Thank you guys so much for joining in on this. This is going to be a lot of fun. How are you guys doing today?
Great.
Great,
man.
Yeah.
Good.
I'm good.
Awesome. Feel free, anybody in the comments, feel free to give Chad a load of shit for his shirt. Like, do you just have that like same shirt that you like literally wear? And like, I see you in almost every stream wearing your resurrection shirt.
I wear it out in public. I'm gonna wear it when we see each other next month.
Oh my gosh!
Every day, I will watch
man.
it every day too if I have to.
Oh boy. Gosh, I hate that shirt so much. I hate that movie so much too. But anyway, we're talking Halloween Kills today. I can't really, like I've been really thinking all day as to like where I wanted to start this stream because all of us have different thoughts on it. I haven't heard any of Chad's thoughts. Destiny and I have had some conversations regarding the film. Like we've texted a little bit and have talked about it. But, you guys are always going to get the truth from me. That's honestly why a lot of you guys come to this channel, because I give you guys my honest thoughts regarding Halloween. And I will admit on Thursday night, because I've seen this movie twice now. Okay, I've seen the movie twice. I saw it once in the theater on Thursday night. I saw it again last night with a group of my friends. We watched it on Peacock. Thursday night, after my first showing, I walked out and I was kind of torn about how I felt about the movie. And I'm being completely 150% honest right now. I was very torn about what I watched. And I don't know why that is. I was very confused. That's also why I'm kind of happy that I didn't come on, Thursday night. I didn't do a video Thursday night. If you guys saw my community section, I, posted my first thoughts on the film. There are some things I love in this movie. There are some things I also hate in this movie. And it seems like I get the general vibe from these two that they are also in the very exact same boat as I am. But we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about why we love what we love. We're going to talk about why we hate what we hate. And we're going to go from there. So to kickstart, I don't know who wants to go first. Whoever starts talking can go first. But what did you guys think of Halloween Kills?
Chad, do you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. I was gonna go see it at 10 a.m. Friday morning. I was just like, you know what, fuck it, I'm just gonna go see it, get the theater experience by myself, whatever. But then at the last minute, I just said, you know what, fuck it, I'm just gonna get Peacock and just watch it at home. And I'm glad I did, because I ended up pausing it quite a few times and just was like, what? So I've watched it twice now, and I still don't fully know how I feel, but I have quite a few thoughts on some things, but I'm still rather mixed on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Destiny?
Yeah. I've watched it twice now, like y'all. First time was theater, second time was Peacock. This is my first Halloween movie in theaters. I was very fucking excited. I was so excited. Could not wait. Don't care.
Your tweets really showcase that. Like I remember seeing like all your tweets. Like you're like, as I see more and more, I'm like getting super excited.
Yes, I was so excited. I can't even describe the feeling. Like I can't describe what I was feeling whenever I left that theater. I felt stunned. I couldn't put into words how I felt. I felt sick. I literally had to like rush out of the theater to go to the bathroom because I was like gagging. I thought I was going to throw up. I did throw up when I got home. I've never had a movie really fuck with me this hard. And I was kind of like, what the fuck? Especially because it's a Halloween movie. Like, it delivered so many things that I wasn't, I guess, anticipating. I walked out pretty much saying, fuck this, fuck the end, fuck a lot of this movie. I was pissed. Like, I've never been that mad about a movie. And even though, like, I said, fuck the ending, whatever, I still gave it, like, a 6.5 out of 10. Okay, which is reasonable. The second time watch, a lot of the stuff wasn't as jarring to me, so I liked it a little bit more on my second experience now that I got to, like, let it sit for a night, because I watched it, like, the next morning, almost as soon as I woke up. Because I couldn't get the movie out of my head. Like, I went to bed, I would wake up, like, every few hours just thinking about the movie, so I had to watch it, like, immediately. Second viewing, I like it a little bit more. It still has a bunch of problems, but like you said, there's stuff in this movie that I fucking love, but there's stuff in this movie I wish they just would not have done, really.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think you kind of like hit it like right on the head. I mean, like I walked out of the theater, and I mean, this was literally my most anticipated movie of this year. This has been my most anticipated. This was my most anticipated last year until it got bumped back. It became my most anticipated movie this year, and you know, like I was incredibly hyped about it. Now, I don't know if it's like the way I was feeling was because I was so overly hyped about it. Because, like, I mean, Michael Myers is, like, my freaking, like, he's my favorite slasher. Like, I mean, literally go through the videos on my channel. You know that it's, like, Michael Myers is, like, he's my boy. So it's, like, when I was watching the film, like, I don't know, like, there were just some scenes, like, in there that I was just sitting there. I was like, is this really the movie that we're getting right now? And, like, some of the performances that, like, I was seeing, like, they felt very over the top. And like I walked out, I went with my sister and my friend to see it on Thursday night, and like we walked out and like I was like, is it me, or was like some of that dialogue just not good? And they were like, no, like there were definitely some scenes like where it was not it. Like, you know, like where sometimes like there are scenes that like actually hit. There to me was a lot of dialogue in this movie where I was just kind of like like what?
Very cringe. Very cringe.
So like it just left me feeling like kind of like a little empty inside. Now, I don't want anybody to like think that I absolutely 150% hated this movie. It is by no means the worst movie in the franchise. It is definitely not the worst movie in the franchise. Destiny's laughing like it might be. She's like, I think
it's not. Resurrection is. Sure.
Rob's on
right now,
too.
I have it at like number 10, but that was like the first night I watched it. I don't know where it would rank now. It's definitely not the worst. I feel like even if you don't like the story, if you don't like a lot of the things about it, you can at least give it like it looks good. I think the cinematography is great. The music is great. There's a lot of greatness in it. So I couldn't ever say like this is the worst. There's no way it's the worst because there's too much that is way too good about it.
No, yeah, absolutely. There's no way. This is not a bad Halloween movie. This is not like a movie like where it's not like I won't watch it like from like, you know, time to time again. It's just not one of those Halloween movies where I'm going to just pop in just because. Like Halloween 1978, Halloween 2 even, I pop those in because I'm actually genuinely always in the mood to watch them. Halloween Kills, I didn't feel like that, at least not on my first viewing. I watched it again last night. I did like some elements of it a lot more. But yeah, let's start getting into some of this stuff. So the movie opens with what do you call it? It opens with the flashback, right? That's like the first thing that's like shown pretty much. Like it says like Universal Pictures presents, and
Cameron.
It opens with Cameron. Yeah, it opens with Cameron, and he finds Officer Hawkins, which honestly I was very happy that they decided to keep Frank alive. I thought that was I like that, you know, especially because I'm not going to go in any specific order. I know I'm starting with the beginning, but I'm not going to go with any specific order. But with Frank, I really, really liked the dynamic later on in the movie, how we got the historical side of Laurie and Frank. You know, like how, like there was something there because they hinted at something like in Halloween 2018. And then they just like, they decided to do that Sartain thing. And then I thought that Frank was dead. I'm glad that he wasn't because, you know, we got a little bit more with them. And honestly, I'm glad because now he'll also have, I'm sure, a significant role in Halloween Ends as well. So I did like the dynamic with like everything they explored with Laurie and Hawkins. Really enjoyed that. What are your guys' thoughts about like Hawkins and everything like that throughout the movie?
Yeah, I'm glad he's back. Even though it might be a little unreasonable, because definitely I thought he was dead. I didn't like completely rule out the chance he would be back. And then especially when Jamie Lee Curtis posted that picture, obviously he's coming back. Even though he got stabbed and ran over, I guess he could survive that. So I was happy to have him back though. I like that it did establish more groundwork for them because like you said, it does hint at something, because that scene when they finally interact, you could tell something was there, and I thought it was nice for him to come back and then like recover together. And I like that their stories were put on the sideline though. I think that was an interesting choice to kind of, to me, going off topic. This feels like Halloween 2, like the original Halloween 2, to where Laurie isn't the main focus really. She's pretty much bedridden almost the whole time. So it's focusing on other things. And I like that. I'm glad that we had someone else there for Laurie to talk to. I like that she mentions Ben Chamber. Whenever they said that, I got happy. I was like, Ben Chamber. My friends were just like, what? But I was like, woo, Ben Chamber. So I thought it was sweet. I'm glad he's still alive, even if I think it's a little bit unreasonable. I'm happy he's still here.
Chad?
Same. I'm actually really happy he's still around. Not only is Will Patton a great actor, but he's a great character. And like you said, they revealed a little bit more history in this one, and you know, they had a little thing back in the day, but they never really acted on it because she was sweet on Ben Tramer, like Destiny just said. It was a cool little name drop for, you know, fans of the Halloween series. So yeah, I was really happy to see him come back. I love when he says, "I'm going to be the guy to get him" or something, but is that a sign of things to come in Ends?
Some
Because he
foreshadowing.
didn't get up in Kills, so
No, he might be sick.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, as we get towards talking about the ending of this movie, I'll just say right now, no fucking clue where they're going with this stuff.
No.
God. Oh God.
I have
Oh my God.
zero. Normally I feel like I can like think of, okay, this is where it's gonna go. More thoughts on that to come later, but I have no idea what the hell is gonna happen. So we'll get there. I've got
No.
a lot of thoughts on that. So but anyway, let's talk about perhaps one of the best parts of the movie, which is literally comes right after the Cameron and Hawkins scene, and that's the 1978 flashback. I have to tip my hat to everybody who was involved working on the set for the 1978 flashback. I mean, I'm talking the atmosphere, the aesthetics of Michael Myers, the Myers house, everything that you needed to really nail. I mean, they fucking crushed it. It literally
the
felt
uniforms,
almost
the
as
hairdos, yeah, everything.
It literally almost felt as if, like, you know, I was watching that 1978 movie again. It was like, oh, we're watching Halloween Kills, and then boom, Halloween night 1978. My sister literally was punching my arm like when she saw that. She goes, oh my God. I was like, yeah, I know.
I know, I'm watching.
So yeah, like I loved everything about the flashback. I thought the actor that played young Hawkins, I thought that he was pretty good for a young Hawkins.
Yeah.
I loved everything. The Loomis thing was fucking awesome.
That was surreal.
Yeah, I mean,
I was like, what the fuck am I watching? Holy shit.
I know. Like I was really cheesing the entire time. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it was just from the moment that started to that final shot before the title card came up. Like, I don't know. I want you guys to give your guys' thoughts too. So, because I could talk about this all day.
I mean, I legitly got chills when he fucking ran inside the house and looked up. Did he kill again? Like, oh my God.
Yeah, as soon as it showed like the moonlight on his face, like you could, because like I mean, yeah, he really resembled Dr. Loomis. I totally
Right.
thought that it was him, but I also feel like it was lit a certain way because the one side of his face really looked like it. And I mean, the way he sounded too, like you were saying, like, did Michael kill again? And then how he came out onto the porch. And I love how they decided to do like that crane shot of it just going up of Myers just standing there almost in that exact same spot where he was standing when his parents, found him, but with the police officers surrounding him and Loomis behind him on the porch. Fucking awesome.
Another little bit of foreshadowing. Being surrounded.
True.
Yeah, that is true.
True. Destiny, what are your thoughts on the flashback?
I love the first flashback. I kind of wish it was the only flashback we got. I really love this one, and I think it was a fucking great way to start the movie. It felt very classic Halloween, which is so great. The masks looked amazing. Like I was saying, I couldn't believe I was watching it as soon as it cut in, and it has like that original, I don't know, everything about it just felt so nice, and I loved it. The freaking scare in it, the callback to like Bob's kill, I thought was great when he pops out. That got my boyfriend and my best friend. I was sitting right by like them in between. They both jumped out of their seats. I thought it was amazing. I don't understand why Hawkins tried shooting up here. I think he should have shot for like a leg or something. That's just my opinion. I've never shot a window.
Rookie mistake.
I don't know.
Rookie
Definitely,
mistake.
because he shoots him. But I did like the part when he's dying. He's like, "Did we get him? Like, tell me we got him." And it was sweet, and it was such like it really got you into the movie. I think this opening is amazing. It's one of my favorite parts, I think. The classic Halloween score coming in too, like everything about it just felt so nice. The house looked amazing. And I love that when they pull out when he's just standing there. I thought that was like, usually Halloween movies, they don't scare me. Like Michael Myers has never really scared me, but that I was like, oh, that's a little spooky how he's just not even moving, he's not doing anything, just standing there. And I thought that was a really great way to get everyone like hooked into the movie. And plus, I kind of like this. I feel like obviously, it's best if you watch Halloween, the original in 2018, and this, like, go in the timeline. But even if you didn't watch the original and you're just kind of going this, maybe you're not like a Halloween fan, you're just kind of watching a horror movie. I feel like it really establishes everything you need to know just by this like little opening. I feel like they could have dialed back a little bit on the sister talk. I know Judith Myers is very important to the story, but I feel like throughout the movie they just kept bringing up the sister. I was like, okay, we get it, we know by now. Also, when he's like Haddonfield, like the town where nothing ever happens, I'm like, okay, I don't. That's cheesy. That's like what they did in Fear Street. They kept saying, like Shady Side or whatever, like blah 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 the whole time. I didn't like that either because it's like it's just redundant at this point. Yeah, we get it. It's a small town, a quiet small town, suburbs. We get that. I feel like you don't have to explain it, and I feel like that's what this movie does almost too much, is like overly explain stuff. But just the opening itself, it was pretty fucking great.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. The opening and the reestablishing, like, okay, this is what happened in 1978. I mean, I thought that that was one of my biggest concerns about how they were going to do this, because Halloween, like, to me, the original is obviously it's a complete movie in, like, there never needed to be a sequel. John Carpenter said that. We all know that, right? And it was so concerning to me that they were now going to be playing in the 1978 world. Like, this is now officially canon. And I was so afraid that I was going to see this and be like, I wish I hadn't seen that, because now I know like what happens after the events of, like, the original movie. But I'm very happy to say that I was blown away by what they were able to do. Love that opening. And Destiny, I think that you did hit it right on the noggin where you said that there is so much repetitive dialogue in this movie. It's like almost like it's almost like aimed towards like non-Halloween fans, because it's like there's so much like that we already know. I'm like, we know about Judith Myers. We heard that like in the beginning of the movie. And then it's like we heard Tommy Doyle say some shit like that during his speech. we heard Big John and Little John fucking talking about that later on in the movie,
Oh,
which we will get to because god damn it, they pissed me off. I'm sorry, they did.
What? I loved Big John and Little John.
I-
They were cute and they were funny.
I don't know.
I like the introduction when he's like dancing and he's like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
like okay, like there are certain elements I just think like okay, we can talk about them now because like, you know, Big John and Little John. I mean, they were definitely like comic reliefs. There was definitely a little bit more comedy in the movie than I thought there was going to be.
yeah.
You know, Big John, like, I mean, fucking when they're sitting on the couch and Michael Myers actually gets to their house and like Little John was like, someone's in our house. And then fucking Big John takes off his robe, and I'm like, what is going on right now? What is he
He's
doing?
taking off all of his shit.
Like he's like, I got this
he's
knife.
getting ready.
And he's like, I got this
I
knife.
got this knife. It's a huge one. He has like a little small one.
Right. So I mean, like, I will say that their kills were definitely cool, or at least Big John's kill was cool, like how he stuck the knife in his armpit and then fucking like started gouging his eyes out. That was pretty
The
fucking
blood
cool.
was just spurting everywhere. I was like, oh my god.
That was pretty gnarly.
Yeah,
It was,
like and it came out of nowhere too. Like that was like one of those moments like where he was like in the room, you cut to the shot of the room, and then all of a sudden like boom, like Myers comes around. And honestly, like now that I think about it, wasn't he looking in Judith Myers's room like at that point? It's almost like because he stepped in the room, that's why he decided to go in and like, you know, I mean, I could be overthinking it. But I do think, to my knowledge, he was standing in the doorway of Judith's room. And
yeah, because later when he finds him, Michael's standing, because that's where he finds him, right? Is in the same room. And Michael's standing out there outside that window, and that's where they said he would stand outside through this window, and that's why he's standing there.
Yeah.
That's why he fucking stands there again.
That's another weird scene.
But
He's just standing there. He just kind of turns and he just looks at him like, okay. Like,
yeah.
a lot of his movements were weird to me in this.
Whose?
Really?
Michael Myers.
You thought his moves were
well, okay, just a few things. Like the kitchen scene when he has the knives after he just stuck the chick with the light and he has her husband or whatever, and he's just like, and then he's like looking at it, and then he like goes and like gets, it's like, really? He goes like this? Like, is he an artist now? And like,
he seemed like he was in this movie. Let me tell you, he had quite a few masterpieces in this movie.
Think about it. I mean, he put fucking Judith's fucking tombstone in a room, right? He always puts some type of, he's like a sadistic fucking serial killer artist or whatever the fuck. But anyway, yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, that is one thing I did forget to mention, like, right off the bat. I'm sure that's what some people are like, Braden, you didn't mention the carnage or anything like that. No, I mean, the movie definitely serves on the carnage. I'll say that right now.
Oh, boy.
There's definitely quite a few scenes that, you know, I mean, even some that thankfully wasn't in the trailers where I was just kind of like, oh, shit. Like, I was like, damn, like, that's pretty, even some that were in the trailer, some of the scenes really expanded throughout the movie. And I was just like, oh, shit. Like that's fucking awesome. I will say, you know, this is definitely the closest because there was Rob Zombie's Halloween, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Halloween 2018 definitely dialed back on a lot of those on-screen deaths that Rob Zombie definitely utilized. This is definitely the most violent Halloween movie since Rob Zombie's Halloween. And you're like, well, Braden, this is only the second one since Rob Zombie's, you know, came out. But it's definitely, I don't think it's as bad or as brutal as Rob Zombie's Halloween. I will say that right now. I think Rob Zombie actually has the more violent Halloween movies. This movie is definitely still violent, but it's not as bad as Rob Zombie's, you know, Halloween. Because the first time we see the 2018 Myers is obviously right where he left off in 2018. It's about like 20-ish minutes into the movie, would you say? Like when we see the 2018 Myers for the first time. And I will say, Destiny, you and I were talking about this the other day. I will say that the firefighter scene is pretty much as long as it was in the trailer. It's pretty much the shots feel just as short. you literally see the entire scene in the trailer. Even it's really not as brutal as I was anticipating it to be. You know,
Yeah.
like it literally just adds like the blood splats and everything. If you've seen that in the trailer, it plays out exactly how it did. And I just kind of was like, it was cool. I mean, I've always thought that no matter what, I could be watching the trailer, I could be watching the actual movie. The shot of Myers walking out of the fire is definitely going to be an iconic shot for the franchise.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be an iconic scene, period, because it's just so fucking badass. I mean,
Yeah.
like he literally walks out with the Halligan, stands on the porch, and all the firefighters. I did like that, how they got the close ups of all of them like getting ready. And I'm like,
Yeah.
you know, Myers is about to fuck all of them up. But yeah, it's like I don't know. I don't know if like it was a little underwhelming to you guys, that scene, because like that was the first scene we got Myers in the movie. But I was like, I've already seen this in the trailer, minus some
Yeah.
of the blood spurts that occurred. So
No, definitely. And I actually feel like that for the whole movie, even though it does have great kills, it is still brutal. But I was expecting there to be more. I was expecting sort of what we got towards the end. I was expecting got the whole movie, you know. I was expecting people just be dropping like left and right, which they do, but I was expecting like 5 people at a time being slaughtered. I was a little bit underwhelmed by the firefighter scene, but probably like you said, I've already seen it all pretty much. I was hoping there would be more firefighters. I was hoping there would just be, because it's really just him like going around slashing, chainsaw a little bit. I was wanting to see some like crazy shit, like 10 people running him out at once, more people coming, you know. And that's something I also was like a little just let down by, is I wanted there to be kills that are like making me like, there's one kill that made me queasy for different reasons, but I was wanting the kills to be like, what the fuck is happening? There was one kill that my whole theater literally, like, everyone was screaming like, what the fuck just happened? But I wanted that for the whole movie, not just one kill that just was like, what the fuck was that? I wanted more in the kills department.
yeah, no, I mean, I definitely see exactly what you mean, because I mean, I feel like if you've seen both of the trailers, you've seen pretty much a good portion of people that were gonna get it, and it played out
Yeah.
exactly, you know, how it pretty much did in the trailer. Because like the next time we get, actually, before I get into that, I want to talk about, again, guys, this is in no specific order, so I'm sorry if we're jumping all over the place. These are just thoughts that are coming to my head. But let's talk about the 1978 character introductions. Because like right away, I kind of felt like, again, it was just them explaining certain things that occurred in 1978 that we, the fans, should know about. You know, like they were going through Lindsay and they were going through Marion, and then like Tommy was saying how like he experienced Michael Myers, and then there was Lonnie. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was incredibly disappointed with everything that they did with the 1978 characters. I do feel that Tommy was a bit too over the top, and he was my most anticipated character from 1978. I do think that they simply were there just to add to the carnage count in the movie. I don't really feel like that they added anything. Honestly, they could have all been random citizens in Haddonfield. If it wasn't hinted in 2018 that Cameron's dad was Lonnie, they could have named Cameron like something else for a last name, and then his dad could have come in and just been a random part. I never felt like, sure, it was cool to see what Lonnie was up to in 1978, but that could have almost been taken out entirely. And I mean, it really wouldn't have added anything to the movie. The only reason that existed was so that way it can further the fact that he had an encounter with Michael Myers, like according to Tommy's speech, like he said he had survived a face-to-face encounter. Right. So I just felt like that they didn't add anything. And like Marion again was just kind of like there and got axed off, you know, poor Marion, right? Like she gets axed off in H2O, and then gets axed off in Halloween Kills. But yeah, I just felt like that there was, I don't know, like what are your guys' thoughts on that? Am I crazy, or do you guys
No.
kind of feel the exact same way?
I felt the same. I felt like, I don't want to say it was like disrespectful, but I felt like it almost was, because I didn't mind Tommy in this movie. Yeah, he's over the top. Like, I didn't mind his character, but you give nothing to Lindsay. I did like their small little fight scene that they got, their tiny little go at it. But then Marion, you give her nothing pretty much. You get, this is for Dr. Loomis, and she doesn't get to do anything. She doesn't even get a shot off at Michael. And I know that's supposed to be like, you know, doesn't go off and everyone's like, oh shit. But like, no, I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, why bring her back if you're not going to give her anything to do? I don't think there's a point, and I'm so disappointed with that. That was one of my biggest gripes of the movie. It's like, why bring them back if they're not really adding to anything? And I did not like Lonnie's flashback scene whenever it shows him as a kid facing, you know, Michael Myers. I didn't like that. I didn't like those stupid ass little kids. I think almost every kid in this movie is terrible. I hated all of them. But I did not like that. And then Lonnie sees Michael and he's cowering down. And then I hate it. It's like, is he gone? And they're like, who? The boogeyman. And it gets, I was just like, that felt so that's the cheesiness of it. And I didn't like that. Because I know he's the boogeyman and stuff, but it just felt so forced. And I hated right after that, it was getting something else. But then they're like, oh, that's the Myers house. That's where it happened. I was like, don't give me that. Give me something more. We've waited a long time for this. Give me something more. I want to know, like, I watched the last Drive-In episode with David Gordon Green and Jason Blum. And they were sitting there saying how they would, like, contact, like, John Carpenter and Nick Castle and, like, everyone. And they would, like, approve of it. I was just like, no one's like, hey, maybe someone should, like, look over the dialogue again. Maybe, like, redo the script, something. Because, and I'm glad I wasn't the only one that felt like some of it felt just so forced.
Yeah,
but I definitely think they could have done so much more with the returning characters. Like I said, I don't mind Tommy. He was over the top. But I kind of like that because it gives something, like, different to his character and something I wasn't necessarily expecting. But, and then how they handled it in the end, I was just like, exactly, what was the point? Why have them come back?
Yeah, and I understand why, you know, I understand why Tommy was over the top, like, you know what I mean? But I did not like, let's talk about the evil dies tonight, because when it comes to that specific line, which is, you know, part of the Fright Rags, like, you know, gear, and it's like, it's obviously like one of the big taglines of Halloween Kills, right? It's evil dies tonight. I did not like how Marion was the first one to say that. I did not like how there were, other than the mob obviously is cool. Like, you know, when they're like evil dies tonight, like that's all, you know, cool and whatever, it's a mob, right? Did not like how Marion was the first one to say it. I think that there are only two characters that should have said it throughout the course of the entire film, other than the mob, and that's Tommy Doyle and Laurie Strode. I feel like that those two would have been, you know, sufficient. Brackett saying it kind of like made me want to throw my popcorn. Like,
yeah, that was bad.
I was like, I get it, Brackett. We all understand exactly like where Brackett is mentally, because like, you know, but again, even his dialogue, like he was like going back and referring to how, you know, Annie was killed and yada, like all stuff, obviously that we know. Did really like his I liked his introduction. Like as soon as I saw him, I was like, oh, it's Brackett. I did really like his introduction. That was obviously great to see him back in a Halloween movie. I also have to say that towards the end, I really liked his callback line, which we'll talk about in a little bit. I actually did kind of like that.
Yeah.
But you know, talk about that when we get to the end. But yeah, thoughts on the hospital stuff, because the hospital stuff, like them bringing Haddonfield Memorial back, and everything like that. That was obviously we all knew that HMH was going to be back.
Right.
What are your guys' thoughts on the whole hospital route in the movie?
I thought it made sense, obviously, because she was all fucked up, so it made sense that they go there. I did not like the mob scene at the hospital when they're chasing the escaped inmate or whatever he is, patient. That was very hard to watch. Made me really sad. And I was like, another like what the fuck moment. Like I had to pause it when he was halfway falling. I was like, really? Fucking really? Like that part I did not like at all. The whole evil dies tonight thing, like you said, Marion saying it first. That's the only thing you give her. She's come back how many fucking times? As many times as Freddy Krueger and Jason Voorhees, and now you're gonna give her that fucking line paired with "This is for Loomis" or "This is for Dr. Loomis." Click, click, click. Oh, I should have counted my fucking bullets. I have a revolver. Okay, and then it gets stabbed brutally in the front seat. Ugh.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I did kind of find the whole "This is for Dr. Loomis" line kind of just. I mean, if I can pinpoint a line of dialogue that I actually did like for her, is when they were in the car. I liked how she was saying everyone used to think that he was crazy, and then like they were like, who, like Dr. Loomis, like they never believed him. I did really like that because that felt natural. That felt like something that Marion Chambers would say, because she had that dynamic with Dr. Loomis. Like, you know,
like she was telling the wrong people.
Exactly. Like that's something that like we knew from Halloween and Halloween 2 even though Halloween 2 doesn't exist in this timeline, it's still something that the fans are familiar with because of how crazy Loomis, you know, is in Halloween 2. So that definitely felt natural to Marion's character. I'm definitely like I definitely think that they underutilized her a lot. I'm also a bit confused. I do wish we got a bit more as I mean, this is like where story elements come in, because the story of this movie is literally Michael Myers is out on the loose and there's a mob that's forming and they're going after him. That's it. Very bare minimal, you know, story. And honestly, I think what they were anticipating is that the kills were just going to suffice the lack of story, and it honestly didn't for me.
No.
I do wish that, like, how the fuck is Marion friends with Tommy Doyle and Lindsay and Ronnie? Like, I wish, because like they were all kids when she was like an adult, right? I have no idea how the fuck they're all friends. So, and we're never going to find out now.
The best way they could have introduced her back into this thing was not friends with the kids from '78. As weird as that fucking was, I never understood that one. She should have shown up at the fucking hospital after hearing something about Michael Myers. You know, the same report. Maybe she saw the same report that Tommy Doyle saw, or they all saw at the bar. And she shows up and she's telling the ones who should have heard that, Lori, Hawkins, and fucking Karen, don't know that now. And that's how they should have brought her back and not killed her off, but have her come back, give a nice little whatever, and then be on her fucking merry way. She's already died how many times before? Fuck. Let her live once. But, yeah.
Yeah, again, I just feel like that they paired certain people in groups to be together, so that way when Myers inevitably finds them, that they can just axe some of them off.
Yeah.
We all knew Vanessa and Marcus was going to die. I got to say, okay, let's talk about that scene, because we're already talking about Marion's death. Let's talk about that whole sequence with Myers axing all of them. Because, not gonna lie, that after Marion got killed, I was like, okay, she's dead. We all knew she was gonna die, whatever. But fucking Marcus, like when he like put the stethoscope over him and Myers just like slowly starts turning his head and then sticks his fucking knife in his eye, I was like, oh shit.
That was a pretty brutal last kill.
Yeah. And then we get into what, Vanessa? Is that what you said her name was?
Yeah.
Okay, then we get to Vanessa, He was shooting. Michael kicks the fucking door and she shoots herself in the head. That's the scene where everyone was like, whoa, like what the fuck? It caught me so off guard. I love that because that's what I was expecting more throughout the whole movie.
Yeah.
That really fucking, it got me. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah. Freaking Myers just kicks the door,
happened?
hits her hand, boom. I was like, oh shit.
That was great.
I love how
I
they're just
love
sitting
that
there
kill.
just waiting too.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty amazing. I really love that part.
Yeah, so I mean, overall with that entire scene, I definitely liked Marcus and Vanessa's deaths. I even liked. I mean, I hated the kids in the movie, but I liked the reference, like that. It was very theater of the mind, like Myers actually killed that other kid with the skeleton mask.
Yeah, and it's
like they were like, that's Dennis's mask or whatever, and then
like,
run, go home, like But the kids in this movie were an atrocity. I mean, like they weren't scared. Yeah, go ahead.
No, the one with fucking Lonnie, the one they pissed me off more than the other ones. They actually like genuinely made me mad. I hated the girl that was licking like the gumball or the jawbreaker. And I was like, oh man. And I wanted them to die. Like I wanted to see them die, and I thought they were going to. We didn't get that, and I was like, I think.
Yeah. Was that supposed to be something when the guy says that's what you get for fucking with the Malays or whatever?
I don't freaking know.
I don't know. I thought so too. I was like, am I missing something from like the original with all the kids with Tommy? I wanted that to happen was like I wanted Lonnie to be running away, and then like Michael like step out and kills them in front of Lonnie, because I think that would have fucked him up more and give him more of a reason rather than just seeing him for a couple seconds, hiding, he's gone. Like yeah, that's probably still fucking scary because then later, it's Michael Myers, but like I wanted those kids to die in front of him because I think that would have gave more weight to Lonnie for what ends up happening later. Because I hated that. I hated they're like, it's in his head and they're like, Lonnie, they're singing that stupid ass little song. I thought if they would have killed the kids right there, Lonnie would have saw it. He would have been way more scared, and it would have given him more backstory to why he's an alcoholic now. I don't know why they didn't do something like that, but whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like that the kids should have been just like a little bit more like scared, like towards Myers. But I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it's like in today's day and age, it honestly doesn't surprise me that they weren't scared because they're just little fucking assholes, like So, but I mean, yeah, it is what it is. I mean, at least they understand that their one friend got killed, so then they took off running.
Another thing that kind of bothered me, and it's something so small and stupid, but people say, not today, Satan. The girl said, Satan, not today. And I was like, why'd you say it backwards? Because someone says that, they say, not today, Satan. But she said, Satan, not today. And I was like,
yeah.
That's not how the little saying goes, but whatever. It was something a little small, but I was just like, okay.
And Lindsay's like kind of over the top line, go home before he kills us all.
There's a lot of over-the-top stuff in the movie. There's a lot of lines that I feel like are definitely overacted, or just like overstated. But like, yeah, I mean, everything with Michael, I like. I'll say that I love everything that they do with Michael in the movie. Because let's jump back to the hospital, because there are some scenes at the hospital that actually felt relevant to the movie. Like, obviously Lori and them were heading to Haddonfield Memorial because of what happened in Halloween 2018. And then they got there. I did like how we got a chance to see Karen break down. That was definitely something that needed to happen. Like, when she was like washing her hands and she like looked at her ring and then she went over, she shut the blinds, and like you could just like see, like, we didn't need a full scene with it, but you could just see like she's out of focus, but you can see that she's like just breaking down in the room because of like everything that she lost. She lost her husband. Allison becomes familiar with the fact that her dad is dead, and then she still doesn't know about Vicky or anything like that, right? Or is that something that was I don't think that she found out about Vicky or Dave or anyone like that.
No, because the only sort of thing we get a call back to is obviously we see Oscar But Lonnie is like, he says like 3 of Cameron's friends are dead, so I'm guessing that is Vicky and the other guy. But
Yeah.
I wish she would have, because she sees Dr. Sartain in like the morgue. I wish she would have saw like Vicky, because I think that
with his
again,
junk
that would
all
have
out.
given even more to her. I don't care to see Dr. Sartain. I know he's dead. Like I didn't care seeing that, but if she would have saw Vicky, I think that would have made even more of an impact for Allison.
Yeah, so I mean, like that was just something that I was just kind of like I was just thinking about that too. I'm like, did Allison ever find out about Vicky or Dave or any of them? I don't know, but whatever. So jumping more into the hospital stuff again, Sheriff Barker was as useless as I anticipated he was going to be in this movie. You know, he was able to provide information to Karen about Michael Myers being alive, and then he just let Tommy Doyle literally walk all over him in the middle of the freaking hospital. Like, you know, and then I'm pretty sure the last time we see him, he's just sitting on the stairs with his hat off in the hospital after that event happened. And that's it. It honestly makes me wonder if he's just going to resign as sheriff of Haddonfield after this movie. Because honestly, he should, because he's just useless.
Yeah.
He came on screen and I was just like, oh, I wonder if he's going to, you know, have a little bit more to say in this movie, and he doesn't do much. That new cop that they also brought in. Also, how the fuck did Tommy not get arrested instantly after punching that cop in the face? Like, you know, like, I mean, I feel like the other cop should have been like all over him, and Tommy's like, bam, and just fucking takes off. Like, you know,
I hated how when Tommy got free, he's like, evil toys tonight, and he's like running.
He like turns around really quick and still run. He like takes a second to look back at everyone. He's like,
yeah,
okay.
evil toys tonight.
Yeah, it's like, okay, dude.
Oh,
we know, but he doesn't because we saw the third movie, but whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I mean, like, and I don't think Haddonfield Memorial's necessarily going to be in the third one, or I don't think, because it's jump. Like, I don't know if you guys saw the article that came out, but it's now officially jump cutting 4 years into the future, so it'll take place in 2022. So it'll take place technically during next Halloween. You know, again, have no idea where they're going to go. We'll give our thoughts on that when we're done talking here. But yeah, I just felt like everything with Haddonfield Memorial, like, sure, it was nice to see. There was definitely a couple callbacks to Halloween 2, even like when Laurie said hi. Like, you know, that was definitely a callback to Halloween 2 with her and Jimmy and whatever. But again, liked the dynamic with Laurie and Frank. And then that's pretty much the only thing I necessarily liked about the hospital scene. Other than that, I actually did kind of feel bad for the one inmate that killed himself, because, you know, like, I was just like, he was like, you know, help me, and he's like obviously got a lot of mental issues. That's why he's where he is. You know,
it's very rough to watch.
It was like, that was very hard to, you know, sit back and watch. Like, I was just like, oh my God, like, I actually feel bad for this guy right now, you know. And obviously I feel like if there's a scene that was, you know, done really well, like to where you should feel an emotional connection towards somebody, I mean, I definitely did, because like I felt like, you know, horrible when he jumped off the freaking building. But that was another, that was a solid kill, if you ask me. Obviously it was from his own doing, but the whole look of it was solid. But yeah, like, I thought that entire scene was done really well. And I also thought that David Gordon Green does an excellent job behind the camera. I have no issues with anything that was directed the way it was. I think that he was excellent behind the camera. With obviously the script that he co-wrote with Scott Teems and Danny McBride. But yeah, after the hospital, now let's start jumping towards the Myers house, because, or no, oh shit, there's one death or one scene I definitely forgot to talk about. And that's Sandra and Phil's deaths, which we see in the trailer. It's the old couple that Myers kills before the park. That scene played out a lot more than it did in the trailer.
Oh yeah.
Like we saw very little in the trailer from what we got from that scene. Even though I knew how Sandra's end was going to come, Phil's was like
Brutal.
Jesus. Like when he started like pulling him down like on the glass, and the glass started like going through his neck and everything. Shit was freaking wild. Like the end. Yeah, that whole thing. Like, what did you guys think of that?
I liked that first scene. I think it was really suspenseful, and I kind of like whenever, because I'm assuming because the way they're talking about it, they can see the fire from their second story, so they live over there by Lori somewhere. I kind of think that Phil, because he's like, there's someone wearing like a scary mask or a creepy mask or whatever. I kind of wish they would have. Yeah, I feel like he should have known already that was Michael Myers. I don't think it should be like, there's some guy in our bathroom, and then she's like, well, what the fuck does he want? Which I thought was funny. I think she had some great lines. And like the one where he's like saying something about Lori, she's like, don't talk about that woman, she will fuck you up. I thought that was pretty funny. I was like, that's pretty good. I feel like he could have been like, Michael Myers is in our house, because Lori lives down there. You know Michael and Lori. And she knows, so you most likely know like who he is. But I kind of like that, and like her flying little thing, and it throws back, because then you know, like, oh shit, he's back there. So I thought the scene was great. It was really suspenseful, and I feel like this whole movie, it does have a good amount of suspense. Like there are scenes I was like sitting on the edge of my seat. I was like, oh my god, just happened already. And I thought that was one of them.
Yeah, no, I definitely liked how like the thing was like thrown back into the other room, and it's like, you know, he was like creepily he was slowly walking to, you know, the bathroom. Loved how Myers just like punched the light out. I also like, this was like a dark comedic moment, but like when Sandra like grabbed the knife and like she was like, you know, ready, and then Myers really just like looks over, walks over, grabs the fucking light, just looks at it, and breaks it on the fucking counter. It's I don't know. I like that a lot. And I also thought that it was incredibly dark when he fucking let like Sandra was still alive, and like the camera like starts on her, and you just like hear him bring Phil into the kitchen, and how he just fucking took each knife and just fucking stuck it in his back. Like that shit was insane. I was like, Michael, do you think you got him? Like,
he's dead now, and he didn't until he found the knife he wanted. He knew a man that knows what he wants, that's for sure.
Yeah, like so that was definitely, I think, one of the scenes that I really, really enjoyed in the movie. Even though, you know, you knew how it was going to play out from the trailer, I did not see him taking each knife and fucking stabbing Phil. That was like, I was just sitting there and I was just like, Jesus Christ. Also want to take the moment to say John Carpenter's music, Cody Carpenter's music, Daniel Davies' music's absolutely fantastic in this movie.
Amazing. They're amazing, yeah.
I thought that you just said no, and I was gonna be like,
oh hell no! I've been listening to it like all day. I listened to it yesterday. The music is amazing in this.
Yeah,
and that's something you can't go wrong with the Halloween movies. Usually the scores are pretty great, and I feel like this one, it matches the feel of the movie. You know, it's much like louder. There's like things that like hit deeper, and I feel like it's very on tone with what the movie is giving us.
Yeah, there was the one track, Rampage, I believe it was, that came out like that was one of the few that was released like, you know, early. Fans got a chance to listen to it. I loved the track Unkillable when that came out, and then I listened to Rampage. I wasn't super set on that. I was like, it definitely feels different, but I was like, you know what, I'm not even going to comment on it. I'm going to wait until I see it in the movie. And the Rampage track matches where, you know, it's Marion, Vanessa, and Marcus's shit. And I loved the track because now I listen to it and I'm just like, I could see it all playing out in my head. And I'm like, oh, that's such a good, like the do, 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 do. Oh, it's so good. I fucking love it. But yeah, John Carpenter's music, and there's one specific one I want to talk about when we get to that final scene with the mob and Michael.
Oh my god. Yes.
Fuck. God, oh
Yes.
my God.
Chills.
We're not there yet. Yeah, we're not there yet, but we're getting there. We're getting there. So now jumping ahead to the Myers house. I liked everything with the Myers house. I felt a little like some of the characters, specifically Lonnie's line. I was kind of confused, like in the trailer, as to like how he knew that it's a straight line to Michael's childhood home. I felt like some of these characters, actually, a lot of them had lines that like they were very aware that this is a Halloween movie.
Mhm.
You know, I mean, if the Myers house is still in existence, you could probably assume he's going there, but it's something that's just like such a small nitpick. Like it didn't like that wasn't like one of the cringiest lines of the movie, but I mean, they had the map of Haddonfield, which I thought was kind of cool, and he's like, if you track this and you track this, it's a straight line to Lampkin Lane, Michael's childhood home. I did like, I liked it to a degree. Okay, that I'll say that I didn't think it was the worst line of the movie. But yeah, like everything with the Myers house, I thought was great. Loved it in the flashback. I thought that when they arrive at the Myers house, let's start talking about that, because from there on out, I actually did really like everything leading up to the whole Karen shit, which is like the final scene. But I really liked everything from when Lonnie, Cameron, and Allison arrive at the Myers house to where I know, Destiny, you didn't like a certain character that died.
It's like I liked it, but I also hated it at the same time, which is why I think my feelings were so mixed on the movie, because I kept saying it's like I love it, but I hate it too, and for reasons we're about to say.
Yep. Yeah. So obviously Lonnie goes in first. Like Allison, she was like, "You really expect me to sit here while I let you walk into the house to confront the man who killed my dad?" I mean, she wants vengeance for her dad, right? But I'm also like Allison. I'm like, what did your mom tell you at the hospital? They've got police forces out looking literally. Okay, that was honestly kind of a cringe line. I'm not gonna lie. She goes, "No, there's a system." Like,
Yeah.
I didn't like that. I did like everything that she said up until that, though. Like, I feel like that was almost like it was improvised, to a degree. She's also an actress, so she could have, it could have been scripted. But either way, I liked how she was saying that there are trained individuals, like, that are meant to handle shit like this, and they've all failed. And she goes, "What makes you think you're going to find him, let alone do anything?" Right? Because I mean, like, literally, what the hell is she going to do? And obviously it's not much, but I did like, Lonnie going into the house. Then there's that gunshot. I'm like, Lonnie's fucking dead. And then they go in and, we go from there. So, tell us why you're sad, Destiny.
Okay. Well, before we get to that, I want to point out one little moment that I thought was really nice. And is when Allison, Cameron, and Lonnie are in the car, and Lonnie's talking about her dad used to sell in peyote. And I love that scene because, okay, I've said it before, like, I lost my dad. And I've been in moments like this where I'm talking about happy stuff, and then I just start crying. And I love that because to me, that felt so real, how she's laughing and laughing, and then she starts bawling, but she's also laughing at the same time. It's like, I've been there. So, okay, yeah. I am sad because I'm a Cameron defender, okay? I know. Don't care. I did not want him to die. And he gets, in my opinion, the most drawn out scene. And I feel like he gets the most brutal scene. And I was just watching him die. I was gagging. I was actually like gagging. My stomach was upset. I didn't want him to die. And I think that was actually, first of all, so I love it. We saw in the trailer whenever he has a gun and he's shaking. And I like that because he's obviously fucking scared. And I thought that was pretty nice because Allison seems like she's more like, like strong, like ready to do this. Cameron seems scared, and I kind of like that they have that dynamic because it usually would be reversed, So I like that we get to see him scared, and then he gets the blood on his hands and he looks up, and I like that it takes a second for him to focus on that because we all know Michael's in that closet. We know he is. But it has that to avert your attention for a second, and then Michael runs out. That scene it got me. It scared the fuck out of me. I jumped out of my seat. Like the first one that happened in the first flashback, that one didn't scare me, knew it was happening. This one, it got me. I jumped. But Allison runs up, he stabs Cameron twice, so you're like, fuck. This is not looking too good. He's on the floor. Allison runs up there, doesn't do much. He throws her down. Her leg is probably broken by the way she's holding it and screaming. And then you get him taking Cameron and just fucking bashing him, which I was like, no, stop. And I was like, and I love that he's yelling for Allison before it happens, and she's yelling for him, because I thought that was a really sweet moment, because neither of them can do anything. They both know they're pretty much both fucked at this point, but they're still yelling for each other. And I thought that was a really good, like, human moment, because you can't do anything but just let it happen. And I really love that. But then when he's walking down, I was like, there's still a chance that they can bring back Hawkins. Cameron's still alive. Breaks his fucking neck. At that point, I started crying. Yeah. I left the theater crying, but that's when the tears started rolling.
Yeah, but he was making sure Allison really felt that one, because like she's screaming, "No, Cameron!"
Like
he was making sure that Allison fucking felt every bit of that for sure.
And it was hard for me to watch, because I think even if, I've talked to people still, and almost everyone's like, "No, he deserves it." I don't think he deserves it. I don't think he's a bad character. Okay, what he does in 2018, he does some shitty stuff. Watching the deleted scene, it adds more to his character that he feels bad. He's obviously out to help kill this guy who's been fucking with her and his family pretty much all this time. So I do think he really redeems himself in this movie, which I was already expecting him to redeem himself. And I'm happy that he did. I still talk to people like, no, he deserved it. I don't think kissing a girl for like 2 seconds that came onto him means he deserves to die, but that seems to be like just me.
Yeah, no, I will say he definitely did redeem himself in this movie. I know I gave him a lot of shit for Halloween 2018. I actually liked him in the introduction when his character was introduced. I liked him all the way up until he was a douchebag. And then you're right, the deleted scene in Halloween 2018, it does, redeem his character, right? Because it's like he's out, he leaves the dance trying to find Allison. He even says that he was like fixing her phone and everything like that for her.
Yeah, he's like, I'll buy you a new phone.
And she forgives him too.
Like, she laughs at it, and so they obviously are like not on good terms, but it's not how it ends in 2018. And I like how he was introduced in this one. Like, he's calling Oscar, saying like, "Where are you? Like, I fucked up with Allison. I need to fix it." And then he finds Hawkins. And I also love the scene when he calls Lonnie, because it's like he's shaken up and he's crying. And I still, even though it's something so small, I was like, I'm glad that they are showing that he's an actual decent person, even if he fucked up a little bit. Because he's a fucking teenager, and people fuck up, so.
Exactly, and I mean, nobody's perfect, and, I honestly thought that right away in this movie, I actually thought that it showcased that Cameron is actually a good, like he's even seems like he's a smart high school kid, right? Like, he looks like that, he jumped the fence. He was helping Officer Hawkins. He obviously had good intentions. And that was actually one line that I really did like. This has nothing to do with Cameron, but it's what Hawkins gets told in one of the flashbacks. He says, just because your intentions are good doesn't mean it always works out. And I really did like that whole, that entire thing. Again, I do feel like that the more and more flashbacks that they gave, I do feel like that the movie was also very unfocused at times. Like, it just jumped all over the place. I feel like there are some things that were missing to the story as well. But obviously I've only seen the movie twice. So I'm going to have to watch it a few more times to be able to pinpoint everything. But jumping back to Cameron, yeah, I definitely agree. I think that his character was a lot more likable in this movie. Like, obviously you felt bad for him, like when he looked up and you can just see how sad he was when he realized his dad was there, and then Myers comes out and fucking puts him against the wall. I did really like when Allison came out and she pointed the shotgun, was getting ready to shoot, boom, Myers grabs that. And then she fucking like starts stabbing. It's almost like
Yeah.
I feel like that. I thought that they were about to start like trading stabs because like she fucking like stabbed
He's
him a
like
couple
doing
times.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, like
He's
I was like,
"Go,
oh
Allison."
shit. Yeah, and then he fucking grabs her, hits her. I like that entire sequence of like him hitting her head, and then he throws her
Yeah.
down the stairs, breaks her leg, and then obviously, yes, Cameron meets his inevitable fate. Which yes, and I'm seeing a lot of the people here in the comments saying that they definitely think that Cameron had the most brutal death. His is definitely going to be a memorable death in the franchise because like he like literally
Deserved.
It was not deserved.
Like deserved for a memorable death, I think,
Yeah.
right? Or do
Yeah,
you mean
not
like
deserved
deserved
for
like in general?
character.
I do like how he wore the skirt through the whole thing, though. I did like that
Yes,
little.
I did love that he's still wearing a skirt.
Yeah, he could have changed and found some pants at the fucking hospital, but I love that he just had the skirt on through the whole fucking thing. He's running up after they hear the shot. After Lonnie goes in, he's running up. I'm like, oh, he's still in the fucking skirt.
And I love that too. As soon as they hear the shot, they don't question it. Like, oh, should we go in? They hear the shot, they immediately start running. And I love that too, because these are two high schoolers going up against Michael Myers. Like, this is fucking scary. And Cameron's obviously scared. And Allison's scared too. But like I said, I feel like she's more like, she's ready for this. I don't think Cameron was. That's why I really love the shot of him like shaking, because it shows you like, yeah, this is fucking terrifying. And then he finds his dad, and I like that he like screams dad, and you can see he's about to start like losing it, and he doesn't even get a second. He gets a second to actually like dwell in. His dad is dead. Michael Myers is here now, and I'm dying. The one character, I don't want to say the one character, the one side character that I really didn't want to see die, he gets the most drawn out death. I was like, okay, fuck this, fuck me, and now I'm sad.
Yeah. There are two comments that I want to address right here. First, Good Real, he says, logic question, when did Allison learn to handle a shotgun? Literally, my buddy asked me that last night, and I was like, yo, her grandmother's Laurie Strode. She had an arsenal, and her family has been around guns clearly because Karen knew how to shoot it. I'm sure Karen taught her. Obviously, they didn't teach Ray because he was fucking useless in 2018.
Yeah, he was.
So yeah, like Chris here even says like her had an entire arsenal. So yeah, that I think that's just something that's implied. Like she grabs a shotgun, and it's like you assume that she knows how to use that.
Yeah, and she knows how to cock it and everything.
Exactly. And then Nicole here says Allison made his death sequence just that much more intense. And she definitely did. I will say Andy Matichak, I did really enjoy I thought that she was great again in the movie as Allison. And then, yeah, like her acting in that scene specifically, like when she was like, at the bottom of the stairs, knowing that she can't do anything. And literally that's why, like, whether it was intentional or not, that is exactly why Myers, like, made the hole in the fucking banister. So she can see from the bottom exactly what's going on. And then, like, I was like, something was telling me, I was like, either he's going to grab his knife and fucking like stab him in the neck, or like he was going to do something like that. I honestly thought he was going to break off a piece of the banister and fucking like stick it. That would have been pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, shit, if I was in charge of this, I might have just had him fucking break off a piece of the banister and fucking stick him in the fucking mouth with it or some shit. I don't know. But he got the classic neck twist, but he definitely had a solid death. Now leading into the Allison, I figured she was screaming at another character when she was saying this in the trailer, like when she was like, do it. And it was Karen. She stabbed him with the pitchfork. And that's when that entire thing started, which brings me to another issue I had with this movie. And it was the fact that there's a wide shot of Myers standing on the porch, and you can clearly see his entire face right there. He's not out of focus. I saw this on the big screen. That's the first time I saw it, and I clearly saw he was completely in focus right there. Like I like earlier in the movie how when Tommy was watching the news at Mick's bar, I like how it showed the one inmate that escaped, and then like someone walked by, and then it was out of focus of like Myers's face. Love that. But then later on in the movie, we even get a close up like at the scene we're getting ready to talk about here in a few minutes. It's like a very close up of the beat up side of his face, but again, it's 100% in focus, and you could see exactly what he looks like. I don't know. They've been going in and out with that so much throughout 2018 because even the way that like they shot the scene at Smith's Grove, like you can tell exactly what he looks like. If you've seen James Jude Courtney, like even the behind the scenes stuff, like with his makeup and shit, that's exactly what he looks like. It's just James Jude Courtney, just as an old guy.
Yeah, even in the bathroom scene in the first one.
Huh?
Even in the bathroom scene in the first one where he kills Aaron and what's her name, you can see a lot of his face in that one.
I definitely think that they do a better job at shooting that though, because it's not like an exact close up. It's like he's like looking this way, and like Aaron like whacks him with the crowbar, and he turns his face, but it's also I think out of focus.
Yeah.
So you can't necessarily see it. In this movie at the Myers house, the shot on the porch, like when Karen has like his mask, like she's like, "You want your mask? Come and get her." Or, like you want to kill someone, take me. And then literally it cuts to like that shot of her holding it, and you could just clearly see his entire body right there. That's definitely something that I didn't necessarily like too much, but they've been going back and forth so much with these two movies. I'm just kind of like, you know what, it's almost inevitable that we were going to see his face anyway. So like that.
And in a flashback.
What's that?
And in a flashback, your boy Tony Moran.
Yeah.
Special thanks, Tony Moran.
But yeah, the what do you call it? Then that leads to that chase scene with Karen, which leads to the trap with the mob. And right here is honestly the best piece of music in the entire film, hands down. I love the music in this movie, but this flashback scene, or not this flashback scene, what the fuck? What the fuck am I talking about? My brain's obviously somewhere else. This mob encounter, loved every bit of it. I also kind of like, you feel bad for Michael, like at this point, because like he's surrounded and he's just like looking at everyone. You also know what he's done. You know that this town has been, waiting for this revenge all night. But when he fucking picks up his mask and he fucking puts it on, that music right there is absolutely I literally had chills in the theater.
Chills. I started like watering. I was like, oh my god.
I was just like, because I was like, he's about to fuck up everybody right now. Literally, probably like other than the flashback scene, I do think that is like probably the best scene in the entire movie is when he fucking does when he does that. And Michael he gets it for a little bit. He gets it here for a solid couple minutes.
They get theirs in a little bit, huh?
It's honestly, I'm shocked that they even kept trying after the dude fucking popped him like 5 times with the gun, and then they fucking were all beating him, and he's still moving.
Yeah. Can we talk about how much abuse he took? I mean, he even took a pitchfork to the back,
right?
And he's still coming. He took Karen put it right here.
Yeah, stabbed him in the
right here, and he still kept coming.
Yeah, like
so is the thorn still a thing, or
he's unstoppable?
I mean, fuck.
Yeah, I mean, I don't freaking know, man. But all I know is he was so quick to get up too. Like, I mean, when Brackett approached him and he literally was like he fucking grabbed it right out of his back and slashed his throat, and that's when that entire thing started. I do wish that we got just a little bit more with the whole him attacking the mob thing, because we saw full on them beating the fuck out of him, And like, yeah, sure, like we saw a few things. I gotta say, one of my favorite shots in the movie, it's also a thumbnail, I think, for one of the TV spots on YouTube, is the look he gives Tommy as Tommy's like, circling him, like he like turns and looks at him.
Yeah.
I also like how you can see his one eye just a little bit, like the way that the lighting is. Yeah. Just a little bit, but I think that entire scene is just done really well. But yeah, like Lori, I like how she's going through her dialogue. Like the more, like that's where like she's saying the more he kills, the more he transcends into something that's even more and more supernatural. So I liked all of that. And then like it cuts to that mob scene, and I just thought I thought that was all great. But now let's talk about this ending, because I mean, let's talk about what happens when we get back to the Myers house. Karen ends up biting the bullet at the end of this movie.
Okay, well, does she see fucking little Michael in the window? Okay.
She did.
Okay, just making sure. And then she just decides to go up there and stand there?
Just goes up there. And for what? To fucking die. And this is what pissed me off. I would have much preferred it if Lori's still doing her thing, they're still beating on him, and then no one's around him. And I would have liked the movie to end with him, like, his hand, like, twitching or something. And that's it. I think it should have ended there. I personally, I wanted Tommy to be in this next one, even Sheriff Brackett to be in this next one. I'm kind of upset that they got killed off and they only had one movie. I feel like they should have stayed until end. I feel like it should have ended with them beating the fuck out of them. Lori's doing her whole little speech, because I love that and I think it's great. And then it ends with him still laying there and just kind of like moves a little bit. And then that's it. And then the Halloween music kicks in and that's it. That's what I would have preferred. It pisses me off that Karen, because a lot of people did not like Karen in 2018. I personally did. Like, I didn't have an issue with her, really. But this movie, she's much more upfront. She saves Allison. I love that whole, like, she's holding the mask. Like, I love that. And it just makes me so upset that they kill her off for something so stupid. At first, I thought, oh, this isn't real. This is probably in her head. But no, it's most likely real. And I feel like, to me, it's like, well, what was the point of her doing all that? I know it's like, so maybe you feel worse for her when she dies, but I liked her.
Yeah.
I would have I would rather her live and then die in the next one and die while trying to protect Allison or Lori, not Michael Myers coming up behind her and fucking killing her. That is so cheap, in my opinion. I think that was ridiculous. I don't understand, why would she go back up there? I don't understand that at all. And yeah, that pissed me off. Like, I was fuming.
Yeah.
That.
This definitely felt like more of Karen's movie. I don't know why. It just felt like Karen. It didn't feel like Allison's movie. It didn't feel like Lori's movie. It felt like Karen's movie. She goes and tries to save the patient. She fails there, and she's going to try and find Allison. So this all felt like her movie. So maybe that was why. Maybe that should have been foreshadowing right there. But yeah, I'm with you. I thought, because a lot of people leading up to this, everyone, even us, we were like, oh yeah, maybe they'll kill off Karen, or I don't think they'll kill off Lori. That'd take too much balls. They'll wait till it ends. Well, maybe they'll kill off Karen. No. Will they ever kill off Allison? So we all kind of thought that was maybe going to happen.
Yeah.
But in the way that it happened, like you said, I thought it would be something where she like sacrifices herself in a fucking badass way instead of just looking out the fucking window like he once did, and then sees him and then turns around and immediately just gets slashed, which is kind of remind me of Psycho a little bit with the fucking hands up and shit like that. And
yeah, I know it was supposed to be a callback to Judith Myers' death. That's exactly what it was supposed to be. I see people here in the comments, talking about it as well, like how it was supposed to be a callback. I did feel it was very unearned. And there are also some people here in the comments saying that it might be like a vision or something like that. Like she sees little Michael in the window and it's like she's imagining her walking up the steps.
That's what I'm hoping for.
I'm hoping at too, because I think that here I'm gonna pull up Good Reels comment. I think this is a good one. It says Karen was treated like a sneaky badass, but at the end she didn't put up a fight. Don't buy it. Plus, how come no one heard it when the cops are in the house? Like, literally.
Yeah.
Like I'm really hoping that it just didn't feel like it didn't feel. I was very disappointed with that. That's all I have to say. Because I was like, the fuck? Like that was the last thing I saw, and I was already kind of like mixed about how I was feeling about the movie, and that was the last thing I saw. And then like the credits came out, I was like, the fuck?
I just sat there for a second. I was just like, wait. After the movie, I was like, what did I just watch? What the fuck?
Yeah.
What was this? I was crying walking out of the theater.
Mike,
I was just like,
a page out of Jason's book there.
Yeah. I was like, everyone's fucking dead. Everyone's dead. I was like, what the fuck? Which I know it's Halloween Kills. I know people are going to die. But with the way Karen died, and I even said, if anyone was to go, it's most likely going to be Karen. And if that is the way she actually goes out for this, I'm pissed. That's not how you should kill off one of Laurie's daughter. That's not how you kill that off. Like, to me, that's like, it's not the same when they kill Laurie in Resurrection, but like that was disrespectful. I feel like this is disrespectful. She's earned a good spot, and if she goes out, she needs to go out actually fighting. I thought maybe she was going to die whenever she gets the mask and he's chasing after her up until like the trap scene. I thought maybe that's when she was going to go out. But the way they did it, if that's real, because my first thought is maybe this is just all in her head because, you know, she's, and I like that because it takes seconds to show like she's going through shit. And like, I like whenever she's talking to Michael, it's like, I'm an innocent woman. Like, you feel it, don't you? Like, because I feel like that calls back to like other movies. Like, you feel it, like you're here in the house. So I'm hoping like maybe she's just not all there in her head. She's kind of having a mental breakdown, and that was just her imagination. And I'm still hoping she might be alive in the next one. To me, that was just ridiculous. I hated that. That's what like actually like it pissed me off. Like I was like, I'm actually mad right now.
Yeah, no, I mean, I too hope that she is still alive. I mean, and this is coming from somebody that did not like Karen in 2018. I was actually, you know, really against her character in that movie, even though she did have a really good arc in 2018, like at the end of the movie. Like, thankfully, like she had that thing like where she said, gotcha. I also liked that line a lot too in this movie, like where she said, gotcha. It's like she got him again, right?
Yeah.
But I wish that there was like a little bit more of like, you know, because like, yeah, she walked up, she picked up his knife as he's like, you know, like his two fingers like trying to like reach out and grab it. Which honestly I also liked because you can see that Myers just fucking took a beating. Like he's even like, you know, his hand is like, you know, shaking as he's like, you know, reaching out to grab the knife, and then she stabs him. So yeah, she definitely indicated that she's definitely, you know, she's got that, you know, chip on her shoulder, that she's fucking just as pissed about this guy as the entire town is. However, I do think that the movie, they've already indicated that these movies are about, you know, the three Strode women like Laurie, Karen, and Allison. And my hope now is that with Tommy gone, which again, I did not like that, even though I understood like why that had to happen, because Tommy was going after him like with the mob, right? Like Myers isn't just gonna fucking like let him go. So I mean, Tommy ended up getting killed. So now who do we have left in the next one? We've got Lindsay. We've got Brackett gets killed.
We've got Lindsay alive and fucking kill everybody else. Jesus. Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. Like I'm really hoping that Karen is still alive. I'm hoping that she has a little bit more to offer in Halloween Ends. Especially with there being a time jump. You know what I mean? Like I think that Ends should hopefully fill in a lot of the plot holes that this movie had, because like it's going to jump 4 years into the future and there should be some time for recovery. But I also feel like that there's
for Hawkins for sure.
Right, exactly. And honestly, like if Barker resigns, then maybe Hawkins will be the sheriff, which is what I'm hoping for. You know, in Halloween Ends. So Hawkins, yeah, he's another character that's going to be alive. It seems like that he'll probably have the main male character in Halloween Ends.
There's no others left.
Yeah.
so
He
it's
has
like
to.
that's probably why they brought him back, so that way he can serve as like, you know, the main male protagonist in Halloween Ends. And then I do feel like that this is going to be like, you know, this is going to be a movie like where it's like, okay, where is Michael? Like it's been 4 years, he hasn't turned up. And then, but I also do think I had a theory on my channel not too long ago, or I mean, I feel like that this was like last year because I made a lot of Halloween Kills videos last year as like because I thought that we were getting it last year, right? So I was like doing a lot of theories throughout like last summer. I don't know when this video was, you know, specifically, but I said, how can Laurie beat Michael Myers? And I think that they indicated exactly how I theorized it in this movie. And it's that it's going to be together. They're both going to die together. She said that in this movie. I definitely think that's a huge foreshadowing for Halloween Ends. And I think that they are going to go out together. It's just a matter of how that's going to be.
Yeah.
But they will definitely, I think, be dying together in Halloween Ends. So
I think so too, like 100%. I can't see it ending another way because this is also the end of Jamie Lee Curtis as Laurie Strode. They've said that before too, so I feel like it only makes sense for them to die together, which I think that's going to be like a crazy scene. That movie's going to be a lot of emotions too. I think it's going to be.
It definitely will be. Like, I mean, I think it's gonna, and I mean, if Karen actually is dead, I foresee Allison's probably going to be living with Laurie. So she'll be staying with her grandmother, maybe in college or something like that. Like maybe she'll be visiting. I don't know. Again, I really, these are all just thoughts because I honestly could not tell you where they're gonna take this story, based on that ending. I really have, bless you, by the way. I have no thought at all as to where they're going to take it. So do you guys have any ideas as to, I mean, other than like her maybe living with her grandmother, just basic stuff like that. Other than that, I really don't know.
Fucking know. I don't know.
I mean,
I thought maybe they could open it following. So if Karen's alive, my thing is like maybe they'll open it at that scene, and like even if like that was real and she was getting stabbed, maybe she doesn't die, maybe she's just like injured, you know, because like Lindsay doesn't die, she's just kind of left there, you know. So maybe it could be the same thing to where she's just left there and they get her, take her to the hospital, blah blah blah, open, and then it jumps the 4 years after that. Besides that, I mean, I don't know. I have no clue.
Yeah, I mean, also, I mean, this extended, they were really, really quick to announce that there's an extended cut and a new ending coming to the Blu-ray as well.
Yeah.
Like they were super quick to announce that. Like, I mean, Friday morning that was posted on Collider saying that there's an extended version coming. It's like the director's cut coming.
Maybe they saw how pissed off
is interesting. Yeah, which is interesting because, like, you know, I wish that we would have gotten a fucking director's cut of Halloween 2018 with the original ending, and now they're like, oh, everyone was already unsatisfied with that first ending, and then they reshot it. They should have at least put the original ending on, you know, I don't know, like, but they were super quick to announce, oh wait, guys, an extended cut's coming of Halloween Kills, and it's gonna have a new ending. I wonder what this new ending's gonna be. Because, you know, I'm like, is it just a vision? Is it going to justify this bullshit ending that we got in Halloween Kills? I mean, I will fully admit that the critics were 100% right to say that it kind of felt like a big, you know, just half course meal, right?
That's what I told them. I was like, I hate to admit it, but like, I think they were right. Because at first I was like, oh, like, whatever, doesn't matter. But then I told Chris and Chad, I was like, you know, I think they were kind of right, honestly. But the more I watch it, I think the more I will love it. Talking about it now, like, I'm so excited about it. It has so many faults, but I still think it is a good movie. Like 7 out of 10, that's pretty good in my opinion, you know? So like, I do think it is a solid entry. I think it's a solid, you know, way to like 2018 did this, and I like that it's still the one night. I'm nervous about the time jump because my biggest question was like, well, where's Michael Myers going to be for 4 years? Like, what's happening? Is he going to be arrested again and break out again? That would just feel, again, redundant. We've already seen it. So, I don't know.
I don't think oh, go ahead, Chad. Sorry.
I would like to think that he's still on the ground with the knife in his back, and that whole him getting up and slashing Brackett's throat and killing Tommy at the end, that's all a fucking vision. He's being taken away. He's playing possum, and then he fucking escapes. So, similar to H2, that was kind of cool. Just they don't hit a fucking cow because they're not idiots.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Something like that. Or he waits till he gets back to the fucking hospital or something. I don't know. And he fucking hey,
yeah,
Lori's already fucking there.
Come together at the hospital. That was another thing I was maybe thinking, if they do keep at least like a 20-minute opening following the exact same from what we just saw. I think that would be smart. I don't know. I was really liking that all 3 movies would be one continuous story, like one night, you know?
Yeah.
I was really on board for that. I was like, oh, my thought was like, fuck, that is a long ass night. That's an exhausting night to have. But the time jump, it makes me nervous, especially after this movie leaving me with a lot of questions and some disappointments. Whenever I first got out, I was just like, I wish this was not my first Halloween movie in theaters. I wish I would have saw 2018 because I walked out feeling so upset, and I think 2018 I would have left a lot happier because I liked the final end of 2018 with them, you know, like getting them down there and it was a trap, whatever. Like, I like that because for me, like, that feels like moving, and it's like, oh, some happiness. This does not end on like any happiness. This ends on like, holy fuck, and we gotta wait another year to get some answers and see if Karen's alive or not.
Like the Infinity War of horror movies.
Yeah, I mean, kind of, but also Infinity War, like you can't really compare this. I believe me, I wanted to be able to compare this to Infinity War, but I mean, like, Infinity War was a fucking excellent movie and left you with the burning question as to how the fuck are they going to bring everybody back, right? But this movie just kind of is like, they're dead, they're not coming back, right? Like, there's no way for Tommy to come back because he just got his fucking brain bashed in with his own baseball bat.
Yeah.
Obviously, like, a lot of people of Haddonfield just got fucking taken out. And I will say, like, I mean, the movie definitely lives up to the kills, like Halloween Kills. Like, I mean, the fucking title definitely speaks for itself. But I really hope that, you know, ends. I'm hoping that it really kind of brings, you know, more of a story element into it and connects a lot of these, you know, plot holes that are in Halloween Kills. I don't know. Like, I mean, believe me, I wanted to get on this stream and I wanted to be able to be like, I'm like, oh, it's the best Halloween movie. It's like the best movie ever. But I mean, no, like, I honestly, truly don't think that, I mean, I don't think it was as satisfying as I wanted it to be. And it honestly pains me to say that because this was my most anticipated film of the year. And, you know, as a big Michael Myers fan, I liked everything that they did with Myers. But as a character fan, you know, of these characters, I just felt that some of them didn't get the justice that they deserved. I felt kind of empty walking out of the theater. Like, I remember a couple of years ago, I went with my friends and my sister was also there a couple of years ago to see Halloween 2018. And she walked out and she said, like, this is a few years ago when we saw 2018, she fucking loved it. Like, she was like, and I even was saying that I liked Halloween 2018, like when I first saw it a lot. And like, we were both talking about how much we fucking loved it. And even like a few of my friends that went, we were saying like that we loved it. Here, that it wasn't the case. It was like we all walked out and it's like, normally, you know, Because like when my sister used to live in Illinois, like she was like my movie going buddy, like because like we both love movies. So she what do you call it? Like she walked out, and like normally like how I know she likes a movie is like she'll be able to be like, so like what'd you think, like oh my god, this, that, whatever. And she really had nothing to say.
That was me too.
Like
the
she
whole car ride home, I didn't talk. I couldn't talk. I just sat there. This is my face the whole time, even after I got home, because I did get home and I threw up. I think it was like a bunch of emotions. I was really excited, then I was really sad, and just there's so much. I got home and I threw up, and I just sat in the chair for like 30 minutes. I was just like, the whole car ride home, my boyfriend and I, we didn't like speak once until we got on the road, and I was just like, I don't know how I feel. And I had to message Matt like as soon as I got out, and I was just like, what did you think? Because I felt at first, before I talked to anyone, I was like, how do I not love this? How am I not like fully on board, losing my shit right now, screaming, having fun? I was like, am I wrong? Like, is this not? But then I talked to Matt and I talked to Brett, and the more I saw people posting about it and like talking about it, I was like, okay, I wasn't the only one that was just like, what? Like, what did we just get? What is this? You know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Matt messaged me as I was on my way home from the movie. And I messaged him, and I was like, I don't know if it's just me, but I'm very convoluted right now. I said that I was kind of in shock as to how much I felt mixed about it. And he agreed, and I was honestly quite happy to hear somebody else had the same opinion, and at least another big Halloween fan had the same opinion. And then what do you call it? Brettman messaged me yesterday, and I responded to him this morning before I got on my flight. And him and I were just talking briefly, and like he also seemed to be convoluted as well. So I'm like, okay, so it's just not me. I'm not alone.
I felt like I thought it was like, I'm a huge Halloween fan. Halloween's my favorite franchise. Like I love these movies, and so after leaving this, I was just like, did I miss something? Like, because it was me, my boyfriend, my best friend, and her boyfriend, and he had seen the original. He hadn't watched 2018, so he went in this not seeing 2018 and really knowing what just happened before. But he was like, oh yeah, I thought it was good. And my friend was like, yeah, it's good. And my boyfriend was like, that was good. And I was the only one that was just kind of like, okay, why? But I'm like the diehard out of us four. So I was just like, maybe that's it. But then there's been diehard fans that love this movie. And so I was just like, what am I missing? But really, I think it comes down to the character development and how they treated returning characters and how they killed my favorite one off. That's fine. It's not fine, but it is, because it's a Halloween movie. People are gonna die, but still, like, I feel like they should have treated those returning characters better, or not have them at all. So I was so excited to see them, and I thought they were gonna do some like crazy damage. I thought we're gonna see, like, maybe not so much. I thought maybe like Lindsay and then Tommy. I thought we're gonna see them fucking Michael up together, like both like going at him, and we don't get that. Marion, I didn't expect her to be like really fucking him up. She's old. I was expecting her to at least get some shots off actually at him, you know. I feel like they could have done better with that. And if it wasn't for that ending with Karen, I would have enjoyed this movie a lot more. If that was better, I would have forgiven more of what we got. Because up to that point, like you said, once we get to the Myers house, everything up until when we come back to the Myers house is fucking great. And like I said, if they would have ended it there, I wouldn't have been so angry. Because like, I was mad. I was like, I can't even, like, I tweeted, I was like, I'm at a loss for words. And people are like, oh, it's that amazing, huh? I was like, just because I'm saying I'm at a loss for words, because I literally do not know how I feel right now. Like, I can't describe all the emotions I feel, because I don't know.
This also could be, Joel, you might be right, man. My expectations were very high for the movie. I know that a lot of Halloween fans had very high expectations for this movie as well.
I think everybody
knowing
did, yeah.
I mean, knowing what we were knowing going into the movie, I will say my expectations are for sure going to decrease for ends.
Yeah, they have
That
to.
is for sure.
But
I
also,
really, yeah,
I was gonna say, like, how
But
can our expectations not be high? We waited a whole nother year. We waited a while to see this movie, and then we got all those trailers, and everything was everywhere. And it's just like, how can I not be excited? Yeah, my expectations were probably through the fucking roof. This is my most anticipated film. I was literally like, every day leading up to that, the whole week, I was like, oh my God, I get to see Halloween Kills Thursday. Like, that's what got me through my week, is like, I get to see a Halloween movie in theaters. Like, they're going to be high, especially if you love the franchise. Like, yeah. But after this, I'm not going to be as excited. I'm going to be more hesitant with things and try to lower them because, yeah.
I also have to say, it also didn't necessarily help that so much got out online about this movie, literally so much. I mean,
Dude,
there
yes.
there were so many things that was posted online. There were even critics, like I was looking for spoiler-free reviews from fucking critics, and they were even talking, like, this is back during the Venice Film Festival, and they were even hinting at, you know, at stuff that happened in the movie. So I was already finding out all this shit, and I was like, well, what the fuck? So, like, I mean, I knew some of the things that, you know, was going to happen, and I feel like that also might be a reason. Like, yeah, I was excited on the day I was seeing the movie, but there was also things that I was hoping was going to go a different way, you know. So I don't know. Like, I just feel like that there was so much that was already leaked online that I knew going into this film. So, like, that also might have, like, you know, made more of the disappointment knowing that a lot of it was true.
Exactly. Yes.
And everything.
Yes.
So I'm really hoping that they're able to put more of a tighter lid on Halloween Ends.
Have to, man.
Like, literally, like, I honestly, I'm debating whether or not, like, I'll do videos on Halloween Ends, but I'm debating even watching any trailer for Ends, because I honestly
don't want to.
I kind of just want to go in with a very open mind, because the first Kills trailer kind of did give a lot. I was actually kind of on the fence at first after seeing the first Kills trailer. I'm like, did it really give a lot? I'm like, yeah, it did. After seeing the movie, I'm like, okay, it did.
The more I think about it, I'm like, yeah, they really did. They did show a lot. That's another thing. Some freaking twats had spoiled almost everyone that fucking dies in the movie on Drum Dums, because, like, I'm a moderator over there for their Big Hollow stream. They were in there spoiling, and so we have to read them to get rid of them. And I was like trying to forget it. I would like literally like try to forget it. And I was like, maybe they're just, because like I had said I don't want Cameron to die, and then someone's fucking name was Cameron Dies. I was like, fuck you. I was like, whatever. They're probably just fucking with me, and they were right about everyone that died. I was like, everyone that died. I was like, cool. I didn't get to even like we had gone out to eat before that. I was like, you know, I really don't want Cameron to die. I think he is going to die. I don't want him to, but it's because someone had already fucking told me that he's going to die.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely figured. I figured that Cameron was going to die. I also didn't anticipate to like him as much as I did in this movie. I definitely felt for him when he was getting killed. But, you know, again, I'm just curious now. Like, I'm curious to see where they're going to go with this story. I mean, I'm definitely going to go in with a lot lower of expectations. I probably will do the first trailer reaction for Halloween Ends next year, just to kind of kickstart the conversation and getting some thoughts going. But I mean, and I'll do some videos on it, but I mean, it's going to be nowhere near as much as it was for Halloween Kills, because it's like I really want to go into Ends, and I want to, you know, have an open mind, and I just want to really enjoy the theater experience. It's not that I didn't enjoy watching Halloween Kills on the big screen. Like, believe me, as soon as, like, you know, the Halloween theme, you know, started playing and the opening credits started, I was like, oh, this is fucking awesome, because that was right after the flashback. Again, there are there's like so many things to like in this movie, but then are the things that, you know, you don't like, no matter what it is. Like, I mean, there are people out there that think that this is a perfect Halloween movie. If you guys think that, hey, all that to you. You know, I mean, it's like, I'm not here to tell you guys how to feel. I'm just saying that, you know, as a diehard fan, I'm not going to jump on here and just give false like reactions. Like, I genuinely didn't know how to feel about this movie when I walked out for the first time. So, you know, believe me, I wanted to jump on here with these guys and talk about like, oh my God, this is the fucking greatest Halloween movie of all time. Like, you know, but unfortunately I was cut short, and it seemed like, you know, these guys were too. And I see a lot of fans that were as well. So, you know, I don't know. Again, it's nothing against David Gordon Green's direction. I think that the movie is directed very well. John Carpenter's music with his son, Cody Carpenter, and Daniel Davies. Again, excellent with the score. It honestly might be my favorite soundtrack since the original Halloween soundtrack. Because the music in this is fucking incredible.
Pretty good.
Especially with the Myers scenes in this. I mean, like Rampage, and I think it's I don't know what the mob one is called, but Rampage
I was just listening to it earlier. I took a screenshot.
I actually think I have it on pause on my Spotify.
Yeah, that one is definitely, that to me is like kind of like the when Allison and Michael meet in 2018, how it has like that sting. I feel like that is like not the equivalent, but like to the excitement level is like for this one for me to that one. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
I thought the music was great.
So, did you say it's a Payback, right?
Payback?
Payback is what it's called.
Okay.
Which makes sense because, you know, it's the mob beating.
It's him getting up. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I love that entire track because it's like the Halloween theme, pause. And then it's like, boom, he picks up his mask, and it's just, it goes, like, it's fucking awesome. Like, I can't mimic that with my voice. Like, I wish I could. Like, but, like, I mean, fuck, man, that entire score, those two tracks are honestly my favorite. And I was on the fence about Rampage too. I was on the fence about that track when I first heard it because I wasn't sure how the scene was going to play out. But the way it plays out, it works for me. So, you know, but any more thoughts, guys? Any more thoughts about Halloween Kills Destiny? I know that you've probably got some people that are waiting for you because it is 7. What time are you jumping on with them?
7:30. So
7:30. Okay, so you got 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Any last thoughts?
Fuck those guys, they can wait. I'm just kidding.
Shut up. You know, it really did. It like pained, kind of like what you're saying. Like it pained me to not come out of there like absolutely loving it. It really like it actually hurt me to sit there and say like that I was disappointed because I didn't want to be disappointed. I wanted this to be like the best movie of the year for me because I was just so excited for it. I think the more I watch it, the more I'll love it. Because like I said, I had like a 6.5 and it jumped up 0.5. It's not a lot, but it got better for me. And I think it's going to keep happening to like with it. And one thing I'll give it is like, obviously this movie is being talked about because it's a Halloween movie, but it's being talked about for how like divided it is. Because some people, they either really love it, they hate it, like it's their least favorite, or they're kind of like us, more like towards like the middle-ish, you know? So I think it's cool that even if you don't like the movie, it's going to be talked about for a long time. It's always going to be like, oh, wow, what happened in that movie? So I can give them that. It left people stunned. And I think that's pretty cool to do, whether it's for the right reasons or the wrong reasons. It left a lot of us just genuinely like speechless. So
definitely
it was an experience. That's for sure. It was a crazy first time experience. And I can't stop thinking about it. So it did that too. Like I cannot stop thinking about this movie.
Yeah.
All day yesterday, it's literally all I could do is think about and talk about this movie. So
yeah,
it's gonna stay with us for a while.
I was really excited too yesterday because like I knew I was watching it again with my friends last night. Like, you know, because I saw it in the theater Thursday. I saw it again last night with my friends, and I was just genuinely curious. Now I had one buddy who absolutely just fucking hated this movie. He thought every decision was fucking absolutely atrocious. Another buddy of mine thought like he thought that there was so much comedy in it. He was like, is this the scary movie of Halloween movies? Like, he was like, it doesn't even like, you know, like the spoof, like, and it was like specifically with like the Little John and Big John scene. Like when it got there, like he was just kind of like, man. But then my other buddy, he actually enjoyed it. He was like saying like he was also kind of a little convoluted. We gave very brief thoughts last night, and then he woke up this morning and like we were talking a little bit. He said that he too is kind of the things that he likes are things he doesn't like. But I think that if there's one thing we can all agree on is that Michael Myers delivers. That's who we're all there to see. He definitely fucking does an excellent job. James Jude Courtney, by the way, is on his way to becoming my favorite Michael Myers.
He's pretty brutal.
He's
pretty brutal.
Yeah, I mean, and he just does such a great job moving and making me believe that this is that same Michael Myers from 1978. Like, it's like he does such a great job at, walking as Myers would. He does great. So hats off to him. I have to say, Aaron Armstrong, the guy that played Myers in 1978, fucking you did a great job as well. Everything with Michael Myers in this movie, the flashback, the 2018, Michael Myers fucking delivers, and that's exactly what we're there to see. So if there's anything that you need or should like about this movie, it's the fucking
Myers.
It's Myers, I do wish, as much as we all wish that there was more characterization. Myers delivers. That's what matters. Now, if Myers didn't deliver, this movie would be an atrocity. It would be
right.
So,
right. Well, yeah. I mean, this was a roller coaster of a movie. I mean, like you said, Myers definitely delivers, but there were some definite low points. Like, I don't hate this movie. I think I told Destiny yesterday, like, I'm a 7.5. Even after 2 watches, I'm gonna watch it again and then see if it changes. But Myers definitely delivers, but there were definitely a lot of down moments. And I don't know. I think COVID really hurt this movie. I think the hype. I think just waiting for it longer and the hype just built up. I think, like, we all knew it was gonna. I mean, it was gonna be a big deal. It was a Halloween movie. I mean, we knew it was going to be a big deal, but like waiting that extra year or whatever, like that just, I mean, look at some of the groups on Facebook right now. I mean, it's fucking pandemonium. Look at any social media. It's fucking pandemonium over this fucking movie. Well, no shit. We had to wait an extra fucking year for it.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. This is bringing me flashbacks to, and any Star Wars fans in the chat, fucking help me out. This is literally bringing me back to. This is bringing me back to The Last Jedi. Like, I'm seeing, like, there are fans that love it. There are fans that fucking are like, oh my god, it's such a fucking slap in the face to. I don't think that this is as big of a slap in the face that as The Last Jedi was. I mean, it's bringing me flashbacks because this is the middle chapter of like a highly anticipated film, and it's just completely dividing, like, the fan base. Like, there are those that love it, there are those that fucking like are watching it and they're liking certain elements but hating it overall. So, again, like, guys, I don't think it's as bad as The Last Jedi, believe me. So
no, it's not gonna. I mean, there's people who after The Last Jedi, I still haven't seen that, so I don't know. I refuse to watch it right now, but I've heard a lot of people say it ruined Star Wars as a whole for them. This is nowhere near that.
No. I've seen a couple stupid ass comments like, did you see there was a few in Killer Flicks or whatever. They're like, I just watched Halloween Kills and I'm done with this fucking franchise now.
I saw other people saying like this ruined the franchise. I was like, this doesn't, like, I don't think it ruins the franchise. It's definitely not that bad. Like,
especially since there's like different timelines.
Yeah, if you don't like this, you don't have to watch it. Like, if you didn't like it and you don't want to watch it again, that's fine. Like, you can watch plenty of other timelines, or the original movie is always there. Like, I don't think watching this is like, well, fuck the original too. Like, no, I don't think that at all. Like,
no,
this one movie does not. It's not.
Yeah, again, I can perfectly sit through this movie and enjoy all of the kills, and I can enjoy everything that you would want to see in a Halloween movie, which is Michael Myers, right? Like, so I mean, I can sit through it and I can muster up, the shitty dialogue for the fact that the kills is all fucking worth it. So I mean, this is
Sorry,
Huh?
go ahead. Sorry, fuck you, Bert. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, he said Resurrection almost ruined the franchise. Correct. It actually did. Fuck Resurrection. Yeah, get that piece of shit shirt off. Chad.
Released today.
No, we really don't have time for this.
Released today would be better
Yep.
than fucking Kills.
Nope.
No, it would not.
No, it won't. It's
No.
there's not a freaking universe out there where Resurrection is on top. There's not. I'm sorry.
In my fucking universe.
It's horrible. Absolutely atrocious. So comment section, feel free to rip Chad a new one for that.
Oh, I can't wait till we get dinner together, bro. I'm wearing this.
Oh my
right next to you.
Oh. I'm gonna make sure I have a fucking lighter in my pocket so I can, but anyway,
selfie stick just for that reason, just so I can take pictures of us. Like, hey.
So anyway, I gotta say, so based on my rating, I have to say my rating because like how I do it on my channel. If you guys are new viewers, you guys probably don't know this, but my rating goes Kill Me Now, which is it's so bad. I've got The Ultimate Nightmare, which is it's not good. It's like a D. I've got a Bloodsucker, which is it's a slow movie, but it's watchable. Then there is an Avid Halloween Partier, which you can put on at a Halloween party. And then there's Pumpkin Smashing, which is the best. I have to say it's probably between a mix of a Bloodsucker and Avid Halloween Partier.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I'm leaning definitely more towards the Avid Halloween Partier because it is a Halloween movie. I do think that it's a movie where you can put on at a Halloween party. And honestly, I do think the bigger the crowd that you have that maybe hadn't seen this, or if they're watching this for the first time, and it's on at a Halloween party, I think that this could be a fucking great time to watch, just to get everybody's reactions, like while they're drinking and everything like that.
This is definitely a movie that if you have two passionate Halloween fans, but they have different views, this is one you put on for like debate, You're like, okay, you want to debate something? Let's put this movie on and let's see your takes on this.
Yeah, right. So, I mean, I think that this is definitely a movie that you can watch for a Halloween party. I mean, it's a fucking Halloween movie. Of course it is. So,
of course.
But I'd say that story-wise, it's probably more towards, the Bloodsucker. It's very slow dialogue. Story-wise, there's really no story other than the fact that Myers is on the loose and there's the mob that's going after him. So what are your guys' thoughts? I don't know what your guys' ratings are, or how you guys do it over at House of the Living Dead or anything, but what would you guys rate this?
People only listen to my thoughts. I'm just kidding.
Okay, go on.
Cocky, are we?
No, after 2 watches, I'm gonna say 7. I'm gonna see where a third watch takes me. 7 out of 10. Like I said, there's a lot of things I like. There's a lot of, obviously, if you're just gonna watch it for Michael, there's a lot of great Michael moments. Some moments might be a little weird, but for the most part, it's definitely better than a lot of the movies, especially the ones that were released in the 90s. I don't think it's better than H2O, but I think it's better than everything else released in the 90s. But yeah, I'm gonna watch this again, maybe a couple times. But yeah, I don't know what else to really say on it.
Destiny?
7 out of 10.
7 out of 10.
Yeah.
All right. So overall, like you're getting like that C vibe, like C rating, which I think is doable. So yeah, guys. Thank you. I mean, shit. I'm like, I saw a lot of comments coming in throughout this stream. So thank you guys all for tuning in, leaving comments. I was reading the comment section, but in order to keep our conversation going, I didn't want to pull up, too many throughout the stream. But I was reading a lot of comments. It does seem like a lot of people had the exact same thoughts that we did, and obviously these are a lot of Halloween fans as well. So thank you, Destiny and Chad, for coming on to discuss this. This was a lot of fun. Honestly, if it was just me, it might have only been a 45-minute stream. But it's always fun to discuss this with other people as well. If you guys would like to head on over to Matt Fauci's channel now at Fauci's Cinema. He is going to be doing a Halloween Kills spoiler discussion with Destiny and James Grimm. So if you guys want to hear all of Destiny's thoughts again, you guys can head on over there and discuss more Halloween Kills with her. I'm probably going to tune in a little bit as well to kind of get their overall thoughts as well. But thank you guys for tuning in to tonight's stream. Destiny and Chad, just stick around until we go out completely. But for everyone else, post comments down below. Let me know, or let us know, I should say, what are your thoughts on Halloween Kills? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Did you guys kind of find it Whatever those thoughts are, leave them in the comment section. I'd absolutely love to read them. And as always, if you guys like this, don't forget to join me on my journey to 10,000 subscribers. And we will see you guys in the next stream or video. Have a great night, and we'll talk soon.